Good afternoon. My name is Sasha. I'm a rising sophomore at the University of Connecticut. I'm a computer engineering major. Um, like I was saying, this video is for projects in a class that I'm taking called Boss Lady. This is my name tag from the first class. It stands for building our sister's strength, leveraging adversity, diversity, and intellect. Boss Lady is actually really important to me because it showed me in my very first semester of college that there are actively working spaces at predominantly white institutions that are for us and by us. Like Boss Lady has helped me so much in my first 2 semesters of college, in just like academic wise, professionally, getting acclimated to campus, like expressing my feelings through journaling, which is something that I already practice, but I think I can never do enough journaling. So yeah, I'm rambling, but I really just want to make this video. This is going to be like summarizing my freshman year experience and also like sharing my experience. Now, I do want to put a disclaimer out there that I say this all the time, that everybody's individual undergraduate experience is going to be different. No matter if you go to the same school, like me and my roommate, we have 2 completely different experiences at the University of Connecticut, 2 different perceptions, and we live in the same room, in the same dorm, you know what I mean? So I wouldn't say, like, if you're thinking about coming to UConn or like debating whether you should go to college at all, and you're like thinking about majoring in electrical engineering, computer computer science, because those are the 3 that are closely related and you look like me or identify as things that I also identify as, I wouldn't say I wouldn't deter you, I wouldn't encourage you, I would just say, like, follow your heart, because that's the only thing, that you can do. But and it's also sharing my philosophy, my leadership philosophy, and like the things that I believe in and things that I aspire with and agree with. So without further ado, let's get into it. The college experience started way before the fall semester. I did a Ross Ladies also under Pagano Institute of Inclusion. Shout out to Vi, amazing people, amazing resources. They've helped me so much in my transition to college. I literally can't thank them enough. But I did a program called Bridge, and it basically just helps like underrepresented or undersupported STEM students transition into college through a 5-week program during the summer. And I think going into Bridge, I had a lot of expectations. Maybe they were unrealistic, and I can take accountability for that. But I think that I just have special circumstances or specific circumstances. I've done a summer program since I was 7 years old. And I'm from Waldorf, Maryland. I'm a single mom. I've born and raised in Waldorf, Maryland my entire life, K through 12. But these summer programs, when I started, I was, I believe, going to 5th grade, and it's a program called Project Rise. It's designed to help inner city youth battle with summer loss. And if you don't know what summer loss is, summer loss is basically when kids, they lose the things that they've matriculated or learned throughout the school year through those 3 months during the summer, because they're not stimulating their brain in any kind of way. And so yeah, I did that it's a 7-week program. Thayer Academy in Braintree, Massachusetts, and people I met there, amazing people, and I did that for about 4 years. So really up until COVID, that's what I was doing. And then after COVID, I went to band camp for 2 years. So the first year, I was going on to be a sophomore in high school, and amazing program. Hands off, I played trumpet basically my entire life at this point, and I think that Anchor Coda in Sweden, Maine, challenged me musically and intellectually. It's different when in your hometown you're like one of the best players and you're not even taking it seriously, but then it's another thing for you to go to a completely different state where some may say it was a cult, but they do take your SIM card just so you can be like immersed into the experience and like be surrounded by people and like be immersed in your music and what you're there for a purpose. And so that was a challenge, being around people who music was like most likely going to be the thing. I mean, there were some people who were just going there like I was to do music. It's something that I do enjoy, so I was grateful that I was able to do that, because it opened so many doors for me and it changed my life so profoundly, especially the second year, because I met so many different people. Like I have friends in Hawaii, I have a friend in Germany, I have a friend that's a model, an actor, and a fashion designer all in one. She lives in Cincinnati. I've met people from so many different places. I will always be thankful for Anchor and Project Rise and every summer program that I did. And then going into my junior year, the summer of my sophomore year, I did an artificial intelligence and machine learning camp at Villanova. It didn't necessarily have anything to do with Villanova. I think it was just stationed there. ID Tech is like a national camp, and I mean, it was good. I got like some type of coding experience, and like I learned right then and there that computer science is not what I wanted to do. Even to this day, like I still have to take programming classes. I'm glad that I had like that background, but I do not want to sit behind a desk for the rest of my life and program and debug. I'll leave it up to the software engineers. I'll just build the parts and I'll do what I need to do to make sure that these algorithms have a place where they can actually be run. I'll do that. But I learned a lot of experience with people there also, because I was one of the oldest people there, or I was one of the oldest kids, and they had like a lot of traditions. It was a little strange, but I'm glad that I did it, because I think all these summer programs showed me what leadership looks like and what true organization in programs and different kinds of events really looks like. And then that same summer, I was like a week later, I went straight up to Maine to go to band camp, and that was I honestly, I still to this day, I still want to go back to Uconn and be a camp counselor. I was invited back to be a CIT, but I think that was the year that I did another summer program, and we'll get into that in a second. But it opened up so many doors for me. I started my own symphony orchestra back home at my high school because of Uconn. I still think I'm classically trained. I've played beautiful symphonies. I played beautiful jazz pieces. I played some really intricate pieces of music, and I've been surrounded by so many great musicians. And I'm just glad that I was able to get a scholarship to go there and be able to be exposed to those kinds of things at such a young age. And so going into my senior year, summer junior year, I shout out to Miss Marion Green. She's been my math tutor since I started Algebra 1 in 8th grade. She's been with me thick and thin. She's helped me with SATs. She's helped me with all the way up to calculus. Always going to be forever grateful for her, especially since she put me in contact with her mentor, Dr. Paul Gay. And also shout out to Dr. Paul and Michigan State and the facility for SSOBs, because Michigan State also changed my life. I was able to be funded by the National Science Foundation, and I was accepted to the Physicists Inspiring the Next Generation 2023 cohort. And so we basically replicated Rutherford's scattering experiment. The Rutherford scattering experiment basically discovers the nucleus in the atom. That's the simplest way I can put it. We were doing some of the things in testing for the Mona collaboration and some other components, but for the most part, that also changed my life, because I was then able to go to APS, the American Physical Society conferences twice, one in Hawaii and one in Sacramento, California, and then I went to National Society of Black Physicists in Knoxville, Tennessee, and just like going to those conferences, networking, and then being able to present my research, it changed my life. And like, I will always be forever grateful to Miss Marion, Dr. Paul, Casey, everybody, the MSU team, like everybody, because they embraced all of us, all of the kids, with open arms, and they really showed us like what it's like to be a part of scientific discovery. Whether some kids liked it, some kids didn't, and ultimately that was my choice to go into research and really try to hone in on what I want to do as soon as I got to college. So, yeah. I feel like I went on a long tangent. Going into Bridge, I had a lot of unrealistic expectations, and because of those summer programs that I did, I thought Bridge was going to be something completely different than what it actually was. And what it actually was still, the Bridge program does so much good for so many students, including myself. And I wish I appreciated a little bit more when I was actually in the program and when I was like surrounded by all my Bridgies. I was just going through a really hard time in my life, like emotionally and spiritually. It's not like it was my first time away from home, but it was eye-opening because I really had to start from ground zero. But yeah, Bridge like opened up so many professional scholarship, so many scholarly opportunities, and I met so many amazing people that have helped me in my first semester alone. So I'm always grateful for Bridge, even though I may have hated it while I was in it, but sometimes I do miss it, because the summer before you go into college is like so special. And even though like I was having such a hard time, Bridge definitely helped me get acclimated, like somewhat academically and somewhat socially, and just get me acclimated to the campus and like what I'll be doing. So, but yeah, so really my first semester, fall semester, it felt like it was my second semester on campus. Ultimately, fall semester, I was successful. I accomplished a lot of things. My first order of business, as soon as I knew what I wanted to do when I got to college, was get involved in the National Society of Black Engineers. I was the community outreach chair for my Nesby Junior chapter in high school, and it was like a new chapter. It was like nobody had ever done it before. Like it was literally just us, a group of seniors, starting something in our senior year. But yeah, so I wanted to get involved heavily, and they have our Nesby chapter here at UConn. We have a freshman leadership initiative, and I was able to become the president of that. And we do like various activities and various programs, mostly social things. We did have a successful donation drive this semester, but shout out to Fly, shout out to everybody there. Shout out to Christina, she's an amazing leader. I actually see me and Christina have a lot in common, and I see a lot of myself in her. And so I just hope that one day I'll be able to be as outspoken. I feel like Christina, like she can really like light up a room, and I feel like I don't necessarily have the ability to do that yet because I'm not as confident as I used to be, if that makes sense. So yeah, I got involved in Nesby, grateful for them. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to go to the national convention, but I always remind myself when I don't get to do something, especially this year, is that I'm only a freshman and that yes, I still have 3 years left. And even though that's really not a lot if you really think about it, but I know that like I'll be able to go in the future, and so I don't sweat those kinds of things too much. And then I knew that I wanted to get involved in some kind of research, but we'll go to that later. Academically, I didn't do the best my fall semester, but I think that was just because I was taking Gen Chem. And during Bridge, I didn't take Gen Chem, I took physics instead. So I had never taken a chemistry course. I didn't take chem in high school, and I was going straight into Gen Chem like blind. And I think I was hit with that, I don't need to study mentality when I really started to get into coursework in my freshman year, because I didn't study in high school. Simple as that, I just didn't study. And I think that's something that a lot of students have to deal with, but Gen Chem tests you. Like, it's going to test you. And so if you're an engineer, aspiring engineer, or somebody who has to retake the class, just remember, like, give yourself some grace. Watch Chad's prep, watch Melissa Maribel. You have to be doing something every day for Chem. And that's something that I just was not doing. Like, I just wasn't. And I'm not a lecture person. And I just can't sit there and listen to somebody talk, especially, like, I think the professor that I had, if a lot of people like in my lab section and in her class said that if you didn't take chem in high school or like chem prior to this, it would have been hard for you to learn from her. And so yeah, chem was just really hard for me. I don't think I have the kind of brain for chemistry, and that's why I'm a computer engineer and not a chemical engineer or biomedical engineer. Other than that, I think chem was my worst grade. Other than that, it was all A's and B's. I could have done better in Calc 1. I got a B minus, which is good because I needed the honors credit for that class, but I definitely could have done better. In the fall semester of my freshman year, I was exposed to the Holster Scholars program, and basically Holster funds a small group of honor students to pursue their own research project the summer following their freshman year. And so when I first heard about it, they sent so many emails, and I finally went to the symposium, and I talked to Dr. Mascaraldi. Shout out to him. Amazing man. Showed me so much tremendous support and has been there for me every step of the process. I was like, maybe I can apply. Maybe I have a shot. These honors kids don't play. And yeah, I applied. After being stood up and by research mentors, and I didn't have a project. I was just really flying by the seat of my pants. But by my ancestors' grace, I got to the finalist stage. I took through the class. I went through 2 rounds of interviews, and I got the grant at the end of it. And I'm still dumbfounded at the fact that I even made it to the finalist stage. I'm usually one to my own horn. Like, I had so many scholarships coming out of high school. I've done so many things, but I think Holster really showed me what it's like to persevere through something because it was so tremendously hard. It's so hard doing research during the semester. Like, I annotated a bibliography with 10 sources due the same day of the Calc 2 exam. I mean, it was quite literally insane. It was one of the hardest things I've done. But I came out on top, and so did my other 8 Holster fellows, and I'm going to be doing research, my own project at the end of the semester. I mean, during the summer. So, academically, and professionally, I would say that I accomplished a lot my first year. And I was also, community service is something that's really important to me. I did a lot of community service really since I was young. And so I knew I wanted to get involved in that, and I was accepted to Arms Across State Borders. And it's exactly what it sounds like. We go from state to state during spring break. And we do community service with local organizations or Habitat for Humanity. This time we went to Hagerstown, Maryland, so I actually went back home. It's like 2 hours. Where we were was 2 hours away from where I actually live, but it was interesting seeing a different part of Maryland I've never seen before and do work with local organizations. So, yeah, community service, research, and then I was on the freshman e-board, and then I applied to be on the actual e-board for a appointed position. Guess what? It has something to do with community service. So for the 2025 to 2026 academic year, I'll be the technical outreach and community health torch chair for the UConn SB chapter e-board, and I'm really excited about that just because I didn't really know if I was going to get it. Just because they said that our e-board application was just this application cycle was very competitive. There's a lot of people who had elected positions who aren't on the e-board at all. So I'm very grateful and very honored to be on the e-board. To just talk like a little bit about the social scene here at UConn, I just want to preface that not everybody's, like I said before, not everybody's undergraduate experience is going to be the same. Like you could talk to my roommate or even people I live next to or some of my other Bridgies, and they could tell you that, they did this socially, did that, and stuff like that. But me personally, coming from a K through 12, like school district, like the people that I was sitting next to and that I walked the stage with, some of them were at my 5th birthday party, just to give you like some context. And I am the kind of person where I don't really fit in, if that makes sense. And I'm not trying to be a pick me. I'm not trying to like say, I'm just different than everybody else. But I've never been in a friend group. I've never really had a group chat. That's just never really my thing. Like, I feel like I'm always just like an individual person. And maybe that's because I'm an only child. Maybe it's just because I've grown to be comfortable in my own skin and in my own presence. But and a lot of times, like, you're not in one big friend group in college, but sometimes for your first 2 semesters, that's how it is. And so I tried that. I'm not gonna say it didn't work out, but I just don't think that social scene was the one that it just wasn't one that I wanted to be 100% part of. Now, I'm not saying I hate anybody, that I don't like anybody, that like I just don't talk to anybody, but I did distance myself because number one, I just needed to focus on my academics more and like really like get into my bag and like figure out what best method it was for me to study and learn. But then just like also like when you're in college, people go, people come, and so I try not to sweat like like I'm losing friends kind of thing, because if I'm being truthful with myself, and what I didn't realize when like I'm still having a hard time making friends, but I know that I've always like had a hard time making friends. I remember very vividly in like kindergarten, me coming home and telling my mom like, oh, I don't have any friends, I don't have anybody to play with at recess. And whether that was true or not, it was something that I was expressing at the age of 6 years old. And then freshman year, when everybody went COVID, I didn't really feel like I had any friends just because my phone was dry, nobody was texting me, like all my friends from middle school, like basically my school district, usually what happens is in the middle schools, half the people go to one high school, half the people go to the other high school. I went to a technical high school that you had to apply to, so some of my friends that just didn't get in, or they did, and like we're just not in the same social scene, we just didn't really talk anymore. It's not because, oh, we don't like each other, it's just people grow apart. You know what I mean? And especially in college, like I'm not the same person I was from not even Bridge. I'm not the same person from Bridge to where I am at the end of the semester, of the end of my fall semester, and I'm not the same person I was at the end of my fall semester to the person I am now. You're gonna grow and thrive and be down and you're gonna go through so many fluctuations in life, especially in these next 6 to 8 months. It's insane. So I don't have any bad blood for anybody. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say that at this point in time, yes, I have friends. Personally, I know that this is a point in my time where I need to be alone and where I need to let friendships and love and things and all sorts of social interactions, I need them to come to me. And I'm not saying that I'm not gonna like go out and be friendly and stuff like that. That's not what I'm saying. Like, I know that I'm not gonna force anything anymore. I'm gonna put it this way. If you're ever in a situation where something goes off in your head and it doesn't sit right with you, remember it, think about it, and move accordingly. Don't say, oh, well, I'm in this new environment. I should try to, not change, but I should try to conform and try to fit in. No, be yourself. Do what you need to do to get by. Find people who are genuine. And not everybody's your friend. Anybody that would make you feel bad or put you down or make you feel unwanted or uncomfortable, that's not your friend. And maybe I'm just talking to myself here, but I think I always try to see the good in people, and that sometimes that comes at my demise. I really feel like UConn is a home for me. I had a lot of great opportunities, and I feel like I really chose UConn for a specific reason. And I think once the social scene and the social aspect to college comes back to me, I think I'll be having like just a better overall time. I don't want to give anybody the wrong impression. And college is, yes, it's about the academics, and yes, it's about the professionalism and the networking, but it's also about your network. I think I just need time, because when I really think back to kindergarten, I was in the same place in kindergarten. 6th grade, might as well have been in the same place 6th grade. Freshman year of high school, I was in the same. I feel like I always start from zero, and this is why I feel like I'm as resilient and adaptable as I am. It's because I always start from ground zero. I know that the friendships will come, the love will come, the support will come. In 1st grade, I started martial arts, and I was like 7, and then when June in 2019, so I had to be 14, I believe, I earned my 1st degree black belt, and it took me a while. It took me a while, and I think martial arts brought something out of me that I don't think would have been brought out had I not done martial arts, and I have always been shy. I will always resort, when I'm put in an uncomfortable situation, I will always resort back to within. And there's not necessarily anything wrong with that, because I think that's just the way that I'm wired, because I'm an only child. It's only been me and my mom. I don't really have any siblings. I've never really had to share. Even now, like, I have this separator between my side and my roommates when I'm sitting on my computer. I knew that moving to an entire different state, going somewhere where I just didn't know anybody, I was going to be putting myself in an uncomfortable, awkward position. But that's precisely what I wanted. I wanted to be able to, whether I realized it or not, subconsciously, I knew I wanted to start from ground zero and build myself up. I don't think that I anticipated that it would be this big of a challenge, but like I said, everything in college is a learning curve. Learning how to make friends as a young adult. One thing that I hold on to me, that I hold on in my mind and my soul from martial arts, is honor, courage, strength, and patience. Those 4 pillars have gotten me through some of the worst situations and worst events in my entire life. Honor. I always try to be honorable. I always try to be a good person. I always try to be a truthful, genuine person. I never want to come off as I'm a hateful or spiteful or bitter or anything like that kind of person. I want to give back to my community. I want to help people get to where I've been, because my mom, my dad, people that have been in my life, my instructors, my teachers, my professors, my coaches, they've sacrificed so I can be successful. And when I win, I want all of us to win. Courage. I don't know what's more courageous than moving 400 miles away from home where you don't know anybody. I don't know what's more courageous than applying to 100 plus scholarships. I don't know what's more courageous than applying to a competitive program that was a year-long process, and from every step of the way, nothing was guaranteed. I don't know what's more courageous than going to talk to professors, going to office hours, going to tutoring centers, explaining what I need, and if they don't cater, I move somewhere else. I maneuver. Strength. I learned all my strength through my mother. She's the strongest woman I know, and I really just aspire to be as strong as her. And throughout engineering school, I've learned what it really takes to be strong, emotionally, physically, mentally, because a lot of times in life, things are just mental games. Especially, I can equate this to an engineering exam. Most engineering exams, I'm talking chem, cal, physics, any kind of, or even computer science, they're not necessarily testing you on the material that you were taught. They're testing you, do you know this? The material is here. They're testing you here. They want to see if you can apply the things that you've learned. That's why it's important to know the concepts, not only the concepts, but also how to apply it. And that's why practice problems are the most important aspects to engineering exams. You have to be mentally strong. You have to either gaslight yourself or convince yourself that you can do this. I believe that I can do this because so many people have invested in me because they believe that I can do this. Physically strong, honestly, in college in general, it doesn't matter what major you are, you have to make sure that you're eating right, you have to make sure that you're sleeping. Sleep is extremely important. You have to make sure that you're taking care of your body, you're exercising, you're washing your face, you're brushing your teeth, you're taking showers. You'll be surprised at how many people show up to class and they don't brush their teeth. I think that's insane. And I somewhat understand, but dude, like, you could at least like put some toothpaste on patience. Go through the process of understanding all these different classes that I'm taking and how to apply it. I'm not getting a degree in computer engineering only. I'm getting a degree on how to effectively solve real world problems using the classes and the applications that I've been taught. I'm like, you have to also be patient with yourself. I remember I have it written down. Honestly, Calc 2 was pretty light to me personally. I mean, even like the beginning of series was pretty light. I was like, okay, this makes sense. But this is what I wrote now. At the top there. You can't see it. It says, you will understand, give yourself grace, you are smart and capable. And before each study session, I usually write down my goals and just affirmations, because I feel like, especially as an African American woman, I know that the system, the education system, any system in this country was built against me. It was made so they made college more expensive as soon as black women started getting these degrees. But I just want to say, like, if whether you're a freshman like me or you're a graduating senior, whatever walk of life, whatever stage of life you're in right now, just remember to be you unapologetically. Do your best and strive for excellence every step of the way. Do put in 110% effort. And make sure you're taking care of your mind, body, and soul, because burnout is real. But thank you for watching, and I'm gonna try to edit this video as much as I can to get it down. I don't know how much I can, but yeah, thank you for watching.